Okay, welcome back. This video, I'm going to go over how to heal Lura in Seat of the Triumvirate as a Wrestle Shaman. We recently did this as a 23 with my team and I. And this boss, if you are kind of just spamming your cooldowns, you can kind of fuck yourself over, part of my language. So, at the beginning of the fight, there is a lot of damage coming up front. And what I typically do, as you can see here, these green check marks or these green squares are riptides. So I've been fishing. Fishing is just spamming your riptides on your party members to get some Stormstream totems. So try to do that while you're waiting for the RP. That's very helpful. I end up proccing one there. So right off the bat, you have Dirge of Despair. Immediately as these notes come out, they will do damage, rot damage to your team. And this Dirge of Despair is a big AoE knockback. So you need to make sure your team is topped off for it. Here, you can immediately use your totems. And immediately you follow it with the Spirit Walker's Grace because you're going to be dancing soon. You want to hold on to your Healing Tide and your Spirit Link because you're going to need them to push everyone else's HP back up for the line breaks. This is the most healing required at this point in the fight. The very first line breaks of each intermission, you need the most HPS. Here you can see there are 3 members that gets picked. The first round will never be the tank, and so you don't have to worry about the tank. But in terms of your triage in this section, if you're a DPS or you who is not going to get picked for the line, you don't need to heal them as much. You want to make sure that the 3 guys are topped off. And this is ideally where they use defensives. Me, myself, I also use my defensives for that too. Once you get it, once you get the breaks, ideally 4, the fight becomes much more easier until the reset. So these debuffs here is represented by how many notes are up. So if you see 2 debuffs, that means, or 2 stacks of the debuff, that means there are 2 notes up. And each stack amplifies how much damage you take from the notes. So you have 2 things working here. You have the number of notes that are out, with each note doing more damage, and the number of notes that are out, which makes you take more damage. So as you can see, more notes is bad news. So you want to get rid of as many as you can of the initial one. At the end of this video, I'm going to show you a diagram that my group and I used that makes the breaking of the line very efficient. And there's no confusion about who gets what. So this is the second part, the second break. You can see the damage is much lower here. You can usually get through your team just by using your regular rotation. Now this one, the second one, your tank will always get one. It's guaranteed that the tank gets a break on this one. So you want to make sure that your 2 DPSs are healed up, or yourself, and then you want to focus on that tank because a tank buster comes right after this. You can see my tank takes a big hit right there, gets to 70 and it instantly drops to 30 from the tank buster. All right, this phase here, the damage amp phase, if you have this trinket, the trinket from paladins in the raid, its shielding is amplified during this phase. So you can see with the trinket, we are able to shield our team members for pretty much their entire health bar. And this is very useful because if you remember at the beginning of each phase, there's a lot of healing, upfront healing needed. So this trinket is very helpful for that. Also, you can see here, during this burn, you want to use your Nature Swiftness if it's on cooldown, but you don't want to consume the Stormstream that it gives you. You can just keep it in the back pocket, do your rotation, and if you don't have it, then you want to keep fishing. Right? We talked about fishing with Riptide for these Stormstream totems, because it's going to be very helpful when it comes to this phase. So here we got knocked back, summons the notes. Once the notes come out, we're instantly taking damage, and you can see how quickly that shield gets chewed up. So if you don't have this trinket, you need to start healing right away. Big knock. And then here I start dropping my trinket. And your Spirit Walker is up again. Your Spirit Walker, if you use it right away on each of these dance, it will always be back up for the next one. And because this is such a heal intensive part with movement, you want to make sure you have this. Oh, this is the break. This second break, I use my Spirit Link. You want your Spirit Link, you want to delay your Spirit Link a little bit because you want that DR to also cover this beam. So this beam does a lot of damage, and you want to make sure you're using it for more than just the health distribution. Okay. Just like that.
One left, one platform. I'm doing under, so I'm doing platform.
You see here, we're only going up by 2 stacks. That means we have 2 nodes left, which is a good job.
Okay.
And this phase is pretty much rinse and repeat. So once again, most important part, coming out of this burn, your team is going to take a lot of damage. If you have the Linny Trinket, you use it during the burn so you get a big shield. If you don't, you want to be using your Riptides like I am here to be fishing for these Stormstream procs. Also very important that you have your Whirling Earth Elemental nodes during this to give all your party members Earth Living Weapon. It will help a lot with the throughput here. Okay, so I'm going to show you real quick this image that we have here. So this image is how my team and I have figured out how to do this boss. The purple circle is the boss, and it gets moved on to where the tank is. And what happens is that everyone has a pre-designated spot, no matter what round it is. Right. So what that means is that the notes on the tank where the boss is going to be placed will get broken because the beam, no matter where it's placed, will intersect with it. And this gives everyone a lot of time to position themselves at their correct beam. And the tank is guaranteed to not be in the first break, so that means the tank will always be there, and it will be one of the 4. It'll be 3 of the 4 players, and then the second set, the tank is guaranteed to be selected. All right, so what that looks like in play, so right here, you can see I position myself to where I am. The paladin is over there, and then the druid is over there, I believe. Or the druid is back there. Also, for the third set, you will use your healing tide. It will be back up, assuming you use it on your first.
One door. I'm going to do door.
So here you can hear a tank saying that because we know that he's going to get it, he's going to call out which one he's going to go to, and one of the other 2 players that are picked will go to the other one because there's only 2 nodes left in this phase. This works if you do the 4-1-1 strategy. You would just have the tank break it for this one, or anyone else really. And yeah, that's the fight. All right, thank you very much. And if you have any questions, leave a comment.